Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher back at the tabletop. Today we're going to be doing a video on why I really hate optics mounting systems, especially plates. Let's go. All right, well, so we're going to talk about optics mounting plates, and I've actually done another video specifically on this gold match. And you know, just when you think you have something working and then you go ahead and screw it up. Well, what I had done is I had mounted the EPS on this Tanfoglio 10 millimeter, 6-inch with an optics cut on it. I have the iron sights back on it, and you're going to see why if you didn't get a clue from the thumbnail of this video. But I had it mounted. I had some problems mounting a holosun 507C, but what I ended up doing was I got another optics mounting plate from Tanfoglio, and I decided, well, I just got this new holosun comp, and I really wanted to get that on here. This is a competition pistol, and I want to run the competition optic on it. It's a wonderful, bright optic. You can tell it next to the SRO. It's a huge optic window system, so really excited to get that out and trying. And well, here you go. Here's what happened when I got it mounted. I thought I had it. I'm going to take 5 shots. I'm going to see how long, or I'm going to record how long it takes me to go from ready position to aim and target and get off the 5 shots. These are Blazer Blast ammo. It is 10 millimeters, so you'll see me flipping the gun a bit, and we'll see how the dot on here and which reticle system that I like best on it. So at the moment, what I have on is the 32 MOA circle, the 8 MOA circle, and I think it's the 2 or 3 2 MOA dot on it. And I kind of like that because it's a nice big center dot. It also gives me a bigger circle that if I can't find it right away and when I'm searching for the reticle, it can help me find it. I know you're not supposed to do that. I know you're supposed to be trained so that you just come up and you find it, but I'm probably not that guy. I'm still working on that, acquiring that skill. But what I'm hoping is for someone who's like me, who's not a great shooter, that's where I think the 32 MOA circle is a good one. Looked at some other videos, Humble Marksman, some others like, the 32 MOA circle is trash. Well, yeah, that's because they're really good shooters. As many of you know on this channel, I'm not a great shooter. So what I'm trying to review here is a product and what is good for someone who's starting out in USPSA or IDPA. Is the holosun comp optic a good one for them as they're developing their skills? So, and you know, I hope that the 32 MOA isn't a crutch, but that's the way I feel about it. I really like circle dot reticles, so let's give it a shot. Ouch, and there you see I've got a little scar on, or a little cut on my forehead, and fortunately it wasn't too deep, but yeah, this thing brained me, and it didn't make me any wiser. Sometimes you think maybe getting a couple of hits to the head, you might think a little more clearly, but didn't seem to happen that time. So what I really want to talk about is how that happened. So I got this new plate, and for this plate and for the holosun, you need to put in 2 posts up front. So I put in the 2 posts, and it also has sort of this mounting kind of diagram. You can see this multi-optic system can mount to several different types of optics, right? As the Seymour, the Shield RMS, the Sig Romeo, Vortex Venom, holosun 47C, Trijicon RMR SRO, and they're all right in there. And so you can see like the Trijicon and the other one. The only thing that really is different is where you put some of these pins, retainer pins. So you have 2 little tiny pins that are up front, but gosh, they aren't bolted in, and I've seen problems with that. But then look how tight all of these little screw hole things are. It's got the RMR and the Shield RMS system right next to each other. And in fact, and then what I did was I got some screws. You know, the diagram here says you should use M3 by 3.5 by 7, and that's exactly what I used. I used the M3 by 7. And you know, really what was interesting on that is that it didn't go all the way through. It went most of the way. Remember, I just put up a video saying you got to make sure you go all the way to the back side, not through, but just all the way. Make sure you can tighten it down nice and tight, go all the way. That way you take full advantage of this very thin Optics mounting plate, and you can make use of all those threads. Well, you know, sure enough, that's not what happened. So I want to see, I don't know, I may have to try and take some pictures of this and put it in the inset, but what you have over here is, if you can see, there's a hole here and there's a hole here. In those holes right here, if you can see them, you know, because it didn't go deep enough and because it tore through from one hole to another, the whole Optic plate came out. I'm now trying to work with C&H Precision to see if they can make a very specific, basically use this cutout and just use those holes and these posts up here, and see if they can make a very specific plate just for this, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, gosh, wanted to warn you and tell you why. And look, these are all my sets of guns that have these plate systems on them, and I just hate them. Not only does it make it so that your optics ride a little bit higher, but it always gives problems. You know, I just released a video. I think this thing wobbles a little bit on the Beretta system. This isn't bad on the Springfield. It seems to mount pretty good, but I had some similar issues making sure the screws didn't go too far on it. And then you have that with the SIG P320. This is the X5 Legion. And you see, again, you had another plate system. Plate system has worked and held up just fine on it, but that system this Optic is sitting at the top of the slide rather than down in. That's really where I wish it was sitting. But then you can have all these other complications with it. So let me know what you think about if you're an optics guy, and that's kind of what I am. What are your thoughts on these plate mounting systems? Is the gun industry going to evolve to making better? You know, I just heard about the Echelon, and they have that one cutout. It just mounts flush. Everything mounts flush with no plates. It's very similar to the Shadow Systems type model. That's what I think is the right way to go. Or take something like the Rock that's milled directly for one type of RMSC type pattern. That's kind of what I'd approve. I'd rather have fewer choices in optics and know what works than try to come up with something that works. So let me know what in your comments. Let me know if you're excited to see a review on this holosun comp. Let me hear your thoughts regarding plate systems and optics mounts, and have you done something fun like this where you get brained by your optic too? And put that in the comments. So please like, share, and subscribe.